GigaVenture.
I'm Sunshine with GigaVenture.com, and I'm here with Ross from Kingdom Con.
How you guys doing?
We're doing fabulous, thank you. Enjoying the convention. We just got here today. But I heard there was tons of people yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, it's our first time doing a 4-day convention, and so we opened up on Thursday at like 3, which was very nice. It kind of gave a cool little casual feel to it.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you guys noticed, and it was really cool. So now we're here, and it's Friday, and we really we're all rolling in, and we've gained more space and things like that, and so it's our 5th year
Yeah,
doing
so this
that.
is the 5th year doing the convention. What changes have you seen from like last year when we got you at the end of the con?
Right, yeah, I was definitely a little drained. We've had some big changes, which is really kind of neat. Right now we are recording in the Lahaina Bay room, which is like the downstairs room, and we didn't have that room. We've never had this room before.
Right.
And we kind of helped to have this room because it gave us a nice flow of casual play, gamers, and things like that, which last year when we had the vendors all on the Kona coast, along with the board game stuff, when we did other events that were a bit larger, it made it a little bit more difficult to do certain things.
Yeah.
And so getting at this room was great. All the historicals and miniature games that are not Warhammer and War Machine are now up in the Grand Pacific room, which is right upstairs.
There we go.
And so that'll get more expanded out as well as we grow. And then we also have more vendors. And so you're able to move the board game library out into the foyer, which gave us space for a few more vendors too.
Definitely gave a lot of space, and I know I've spent a good chunk of my paycheck on the vendors already.
Yeah, which is great. That's great. Winged Lions Creations is here with their stuff, and Table Wars here doing their things.
Yeah, I saw Table Wars still setting up. Drunk Quest is here again.
Drunk Quest, we are so glad they're here. And they're doing great. They just finished one of their Kickstarters too, so they have their 90 Seas game that just finished up, which is really nice. And Table War just finished their mats as well. So it's really nice that we have a lot of vendors that are very growing with what they've been doing, and they have a lot of established games going on. It's very nice that we can kind of be a part of that.
Awesome. Let's jump back a little bit.
Okay.
Rewind to the first days of Kingdom Con when you were still in the town and country.
Yeah, back in the day. So the Kingdom Con started at the town and country, and it was a different time. And when we did that back then, it was I kind of rolled into the I've been to a few cons before. I worked in tournaments and things like that, but I had never ran a con.
Right.
I'd been a volunteer at cons and I did running demos, but I mean it was kind of like let's figure out how it goes, and we learned a lot that first year. And then after we came to the Crown Plaza definitely had much more of our feel on what we were doing, and that feel was really helpful to help grow the convention because we're much more of a house party kind of vibe.
Yeah, definitely more of a casual, like, this is the same atmosphere I get when we do our actual play. We just show up to our friend's house, and it's very calm and very nice.
Which is kind of the thing, because I don't get to see a lot of the friends that I grew up with or hang out with a lot when I was in college, and now that I'm traveling to cons all the time and working, I don't get to see them much, and so it's nice to be able to have that same environment and that same feel, and it's not as structured. So even though we have a lot of games that are on the schedule, most of the gaming that happens at Kingdom Con isn't on the schedule. So it has a nice casual play vibe, which is very nice.
Very cool. So now you've been talking about some of the games you run. Let's jump toward Ross a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you've just been recently hired by Ninja Division. It was, we were talking about Kickstarter earlier, and they're with company name's eluding me right now.
So Sodapot Miniatures.
There you go.
So Ninja Division is the publishing company for Sodapot Miniatures and Cypher Studios, which covers products like Super Dungeon Explorer, Relic Knights, Eldorado, and Anima Tactics. Along with that, we just teasered our Bunnies for Zombies game.
Awesome.
And so that'll be a fun little game as well. And so I just this is my 5th con in a row in the past 5 weeks.
I know.
Right?
I've seen some photos on
Facebook's definitely been pretty. Some are more professional than others. We'll just leave it at that, right? And so it's been fun. And I've been in Boston and Seattle and Chicago doing other kind of stuff. And
lots of jet lag.
Totally. Well, sure, but I mean, it's a small part of the job.
Yeah, it's all fun.
And we just finished our Super Dungeon Explorer Forgotten King Kickstarter.
Yes, I wrote an article about that.
We saw. Thank you very much. That's right, and we that finished up, and so that introduced our arcade mode and our arena mode. And so what I've been doing at conventions these past 4 weeks has been running Forgotten King demos with the Super Dungeon Explorer PvP arena rules. And so I've been able to take, for arena mode, what you do in Super Dungeon Explorer, normally it's the dungeon versus the heroes and vice versa, very classic mode.
Right.
So the arena mode, you can take any hero you want out of any of the expansions and any 2 spawn zones that the dungeon has, and that's your warband. So you could have Princess Ruby and then 2 of the skeleton zones. And all you're doing is going to fight against the other player in like a tournament style format.
Awesome.
And so you have the different scenarios with that where you can have little mini bosses and get more chests and things like that. But I was running, I 3 tables worth of demos, very, very stewardess style.
Right.
And it was good. It was work, but at the same time, you're showing people new games.
Yeah.
And we are in a golden age of gaming right now.
I know, with Kickstarter, and I'm going to do my best to keep up a little more about that stuff on GGV.com. With all the Kickstarter and indie stuff, and just crowdfunding has really taken off.
It's really kind of interesting to see how that's all gone. We've definitely seen Kickstarter and crowdfunding evolve as well, because at the beginning it was everybody had a million tiers and you were trying to figure out what you were doing, like $1 high five and $20 you get the game with that, and like a 15 grand, you can put your name in the game. We didn't do any of that with the Super Dungeon Explorer when we just did 1 tier. And
and I think sometimes it's better for development where you don't have to worry about stretch goals or anything. It's just
we had the stretch goals all laid out though.
Right, but I mean, instead of putting stuff out for because if you remember some of the early Kickstarters, they had goals that even went out to $1 million.
Oh yeah, we finished right at the million, and there's something to have kind of the allure, the ride of that Kickstarter was so much fun, and I was in the back end of that, and there was a lot of times this month where I would be at a con, I'd work all day, and we went out and drank, and then later I'd be like, I gotta log in and do 2 to 3 hours of emails, because if I don't, it's gonna get ignored for another day, and we're dealing with $1 million project, right? I've been a little lax, and I haven't been on my email in like a week, right? But I just rolled off this and came to here, and it's so difficult to be able to manage all of that, but at the same time, it's at the end of the day, I'm rocking the gaming industry, and it's so much fun to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So...
I'm glad we get to cover it.
I'm glad you guys get to be here. Kingdom Con is my favorite show. I thought, and obviously because I run it, but it just has a different vibe that a lot of different shows don't have, and it's really good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your
time.
No
problem.
Ross. And we'll see you around.
You know it, definitely.
This is Sunshine from GigAventure.com, and thank you for watching.